Hey fam, this is James, and just to let you know, just got out of jail. The negative entities have struck again. They were actually on me all day today, as I talked about in my previous videos. You should know that they all talk and communicate together. And so they were conspiring today to get me in jail, possibly because I had a small awakening where I rejected, these people, these entities, and saying that, I'm kind of tired of them trying to control my life, and I believe that, as a black man, I'm, what some people would call a god, and striving to be one, and apparently this set them the F off, and I had an earlier attack by the military, and whoever else they're working with. And so they decided today to go ahead and steal that vibration where I broke away, and then I found myself in jail for a short period of time. When you walk into a store, a big store, it's one of those things where if you're a targeted individual, they already communicate with each other, and have already decided that as soon as you walk in, they already have tails on you. They already have you under surveillance. So as soon as you walk in, you're gonna be under surveillance. And so I was grabbing some baby wipes and a couple other things, and apparently even in the full ass store, they had already selected me and were tracking me directly. And as I went out, they already had grabbed me, and then I went to jail, and then ended up having to deal with it, and it was a quick one. Basically what happens is that you get processed in and out real quick, but in the same time, while you're sitting inside the room with their agents, they're exchanging your soul, or stealing your soul energy, and whatever knowledge it is that you had acquired for that day or those days. And so that's what they were basically doing, just stealing and taking. Specifically, as you know, I've been uploading videos about how they have been trying their best to put me under their control. And they got these witches, they got these jinn, they got all these people. It's very frustrating, to be honest with you, because it's all done in secret. They don't want you to know, and yet they know what's going on, but they don't want you to know. And so one of the things I've experienced is that once you're stuck inside of a cell or in a specific area, they start attacking immediately. It's like all of a sudden they grab all their people together and say, let's gang up on them, and do all sorts of nasty things. And so I experienced some stuff today, where they were taking and changing, and and doing things that they shouldn't be doing. Luckily, the greatest one and our ancestors already know what's going on and are fully understanding and will protect you. But that doesn't mean that they're not going to try. And so they tried today. Just to let you know, as soon as I got out, this was the theme, which I found very funny. Well, now you have to make a choice. Basically, this was the mind control. This was them doing their thing. Basically, now you have to make a choice. Now you know that, some of us are good, some of us are bad, you know, so, but it's a balance. It's a balance. You need to stay balanced, etc. And they load you up with all sorts of ideas, ideologies, and things that can confuse you. Take you away from your path. Because for me, I'm like, yeah, I get that. I'm not a perfect person. But the reality is, and I'll start posing questions, and then they will get pissed off. This is what basically happened. I'm like, all right, yeah, I get that, but I'm not the greatest one, so I cannot be that evil, that low down evil vibration. Obviously there should be a balance. But I'm not going to be sacrificing people. I'm not going to sacrifice babies. I'm not going to steal souls from people. And then, it starts getting a little bit more complicated, because then you start realizing the truth again, that they turned away from the greatest one. And not only that, they don't have a balance. They're just pure, they're evil. They're pure, unadulterated evil. They don't have a good balance. Like, in the way that I posed the question was, all right, so that means that at some point, I'm a black guy. So that means that at some point you're going to stop subjugating black people and give them the choice to be good and evil too, right? And that's a very interesting question, because if you have a balance, then you should be doing some good for the planet. You should be doing some good for the people. But if you're conspiring to destroy black people, then what is my purpose? What is it that you're asking for? Are you asking that, I should ignore that because the universe is balanced and you guys are the evil ones and etc.? No. Ignore all that bullshit, because it is bullshit. That's not how things should go. They turned away from the greatest one. They are pure evil. They don't care about black people. They have an agenda. They want to kill us all and steal our timeline and steal anything that we learn, and especially our vibration, and subjugate us. And it's completely different from the idea that they're trying to portray, that maybe they're balanced also and they're working with the greatest one, etc., and blah 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 blah. No, they're working against the greatest one, and the greatest one already knows them. But they have no balance. There's no good, there's no good things that they're doing, and just posing the question. So that means that at some point you plan on stopping the subjugation of black people, right? And or when you do that, you're going to propose to them the choice also. But then the mind control stops, because the question is too much for them to be able to answer. They cannot answer, why they're pure evil and why they're hurting so many people and why they're destroying this place that we live on. They can't answer that honestly, because it brings to light the reality that they're mind controlling you so that they can subjugate you and stop you from enlightening yourself. And they have a goal of stealing your enlightenment. Your growth. That is what they plan on doing. And then they walk around and nod at each other and say, hey, we did it. We did a good job. We're awesome. Okay? And in the end, all they really have done is stolen something that's not theirs, and something that they have not learned properly. And so ultimately they will fail. But that's why they still need you to participate. In the end, they need you to participate and be a part of their subjugation. Otherwise, so that they can continue stealing from you, and you need to be an actor that works with them. so that they can continue, because when they fail, they need backup, they need extra, they need more. And these jinn know this, and they work very hard at trying to do it. And so no matter what, like, me being arrested is more than just, oh, you committed a crime, blah 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 blah. Yeah. We all know that the cops sit around and they're part of Masonic Brotherhood. They shoot people, they enter people's homes, they illegally search and seizure. They just look at the pot laws, the war on drugs. Ain't no law, ain't no normal law that anyone's following. And not only that, when you're in their presence, they're stealing from you, in the spiritual plane. So what laws do you have to protect yourself from that subjugation? So, they're so full of bullshit and lies that it's actually quite troubling, like I said before, because they're sitting around conspiring, following you, trying to get you arrested and destroy your life. It's really a sickness. They are really sick. And they want you to be sick also. And they want you to be a part of their sickness. And, they can say and do whatever they want, but their actions speak louder than words. And their words are nothing but lies and deceit. And so for me, it's a big eye-opening experience to see that you can't trust them in any possible way, and any of their supporters, because they are working very hard to destroy you. And that even means acting like they want you a part of their club so that they can destroy people that are like you, and get you to help them destroy those people too. It's as crazy gets. And today's one of those days that I had to go through it. I had to go through it and say, hey, you know what? I'm smarter than that. I realize that I'm not going to fall down that hole. I'm not going to turn my face away from the greatest one. And not only that, I posed the question, why are you judging? Who are you to send your police forces and force your laws upon everyone? Who are you to judge anyone? You're not the greatest one. You're not a god. Especially since all they're doing is breaking all the laws. So how are they, how did you get to that point where you are sitting around pointing fingers and judging people when you yourself are an abomination to life, to creation? All you're doing is hurting people. How are you, and then sitting around judging and trying to justify it at the same time? It brings one pause, because you realize that they are without morals and without love and empathy and understanding, and they are all about this whole ideology of just getting their way, no matter what it takes. Okay? Getting their way, doing what they want, no matter who they hurt or destroy. And I, for one, refuse to be a part of it. And I'm going to continue to be a voice to those who are in need. And I've decided that, it's too much. It's a bit too much. And, in the end, they're probably going to have a lot to speak to. They're going to have a lot of people to, or I don't know. They're going to have something going on, because they're not balanced, and they're not fair, and they're not just, and they've been judging people. They've been acting like they're God. They've been acting like they're the creator, and they're nothing but that, nothing like that in any possible way. Peace out.